Hey Tekken players, hope you're all doing well. So this is a different type of video today. Just going to be chilling here with Paul, and I'm just going to discuss an interesting topic, which is it's really doing the rounds at the moment, and there's very heated debate on both sides, and I thought I might do something a little bit controversial for the internet, which is actually to try to bring some nuance and some balance and to discuss it. So what am I talking about? Well, if the title didn't give it away, at the moment there's a really interesting debate about the sort of the new feature, new for Tekken 8 at least, in matches, both quick match and ranked match, where the idea is you should be playing a first to two. That's how the matchup is designed. And the question is, well, should you always rematch? That's it in a nutshell. And if I were to be sort of to outline both arguments in a summary and short way as possible, on the one hand you have, of course you should rematch. Don't be a rude word that I won't say because I'll get demonetized. Play again. Be a Chad. Don't run away, etc., etc. And on the other side of the argument, you have no one owes you a rematch. If you're not good enough to beat me, then get good. Lol, something. I mean, I'm taking the mick a little bit, but that's the general view. Those are your two outlines. So I just want to bring my thoughts into it and give, like I say, what I like to consider a little bit of a balanced view. So just before I go into it, just to state the obvious, I'm not your dad. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to do what I say. You play this game however you want to. So that's number one. This is just my opinions, So you do you, my friend. Now, also, just for the sake of argument, because I think these are perfectly valid points. So let's assume, for the sake of this discussion, let's take it as read that both players are playing on capable machines. So you're both either on a PS5 or Xbox or a decent PC. So no one's playing on a Pentium 4 that makes the game lag like a PowerPoint show, and no one is playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi. So again, let's assume that everyone's got everyone is a good connection. The game is running absolutely fine. Let's also assume, because again this is a bit more of a balance, let's assume that both players are playing relatively as sporting as you can. No one is teabagging or key charging or doing any sort of toxic BS. Again, that's a whole different subject about whether you think those people are worth rematching, but let's assume for the sake of argument that so no one's doing that. It's just a standard two players, two good things. Okay, so with all that said, what are the general arguments that people put forward as to why you wouldn't want to rematch? So the first one is people say, well, I just got completely curb stomped and I don't want to do it again because it's not fun. And totally understandable. This is the fact, Sorry, this is breaking ground, but the fact is that human beings, we like winning. Okay, when you win, you get that little boost of endorphin or whatever it is, and it makes you feel good. Of course you do. It's an achievement. You think, yeah, I'm winning. I'm doing well in life. And if you lose, surprise, surprise, you get the opposite. You feel like, oh, there I've been hard done by, especially when you've invested so much time. Because let's be honest, Tekken, as anyone who's kind of really started to get into it, it's an iceberg in terms of just there's so much depth to this beyond what you see at first. I like to consider Tekken is a bit like playing chess, but at 60 frames a second. There's so much sort of there's so many options, there's so many things to think about, and people invest a lot of time and effort into it. I mean, casually, I was playing Tekken since Tekken 2 with this crazy Catman. I've forgotten how old I would have been, but a long while ago, and playing it semi-seriously since kind of the virus that shall not be named took over. That's when I started kind of playing Tekken 7 competitively. So a good few years. You've got a lot invested, and it's awful when you put all that time and effort in and you get completely stomped. So you don't want a rematch. So that's the kind of argument number one. And I'm going to address it when I go for the reasons for. So just hang fire. I will come back to it. So the other reason that people say they don't want to they won't rematch is kind of the same thing, but the other way around. They absolutely stomp someone. Okay, so let's say that I'm playing Paul here, and all I do, I just win the match by I just do Shining Wizard. I don't do that. I do Shining Wizard. I realise, oh, you've got no throw breaks. I I can mess it up like an idiot. So anyway, it's I'm playing a pool. I go, oh, you've got no throw breaks. I'm just gonna mash you, poke you to death. I'm gonna keep throwing. I'm gonna mess my throws up because I'm not warmed up. And you kind of think, well, that's not fun. I like to feel like I've earned my victories. Let's say, okay, let's keep it. Let's make this really real world. I just do this for the entire match, and the poor person on the other hand doesn't know how to block these, and I just do this, and I win, and I go, well, that was fun. Yeah, why would I want to? Why should I rematch? I haven't earned that victory. I've completely stomped over this person, and the reason why I think that's a little bit of a, I try to find a way. Okay, I'm not saying it's an invalid argument, but I think it's a little bit, when you stop and break it down, it's actually a little bit condescending, because what you're saying is, I'm better than this person, so I don't want to play him again because I'm just so good. I'm such a Chad, you know. Why should I want to play again? They're obviously not enjoying it. And all I'd say is something really, really simple. If that is really true, really, really true, they won't match you up anyway. So it's a little bit of a douche move to, in my opinion at least, to make that decision for them. If they have been stomped and they do not want to get stomped again, they'll decline. Why should you be the one who decides whether they're going to decline or not? I just think that's a little bit of it's slightly condescending to say, oh well, you know, I just walked over this person, so why should I don't want to do it again to them. Why should it's like, well, they're adults. Or at least whatever the rating is for Tekken. If they don't want to do it, they won't do it. Why should you make that decision for them? And I do wonder how much of that argument is because actually you're kind of using it as a front because you feel like, oh, I got away with that. I got away with so much stuff there. Let's leave now so they don't figure me out. You know, that what you're secretly thinking to yourself, what happens if they figure out that to block alley kicks you have to hold down back and not down? Because by the way, that's the thing. So what happens if they figure that out and suddenly, oh no, all my tricks aren't going to work anymore. Or they suddenly remember that, oh yeah, to break, if someone's going to do a Shining Wizard from across the stage, I just have to press 1+2 and I'll break it. So I think that's a little bit of a suspect move. And I just think, look, if they're not enjoying it, they won't rematch. Okay, so, and the third sort of reason that people, it's kind of similar to the first, where people just say, well, I just hate this matchup. Okay, I hate this character. I hate playing against them. So for me, for example, the character I probably hate playing against the most is Ling. Why do I hate? Because she is, I swear it's deliberate, but maybe not. It's almost like she is the complete anti-King character. She has an AOP stance that just goes under everything. So forget throws, that's obvious. It will go under mids. This is meant to be, for example, this is meant to be King's homing mid check, forward 4. If she's an AOP, it goes under. She becomes invincible. Like literally the only move you can use in AOP that's somewhat reliable is down forward 1, which is a great move, but it's like that's all I'm gonna get. You've basically gone invincible, and then that's before you get into all her other shenanigans. So it's like that character is designed in a way to defeat my character. So why should I want to play again? And I've no doubt you can think of other people. A lot of people, for example, hate playing King. Playing against King. Because they think he's OP in this iteration. They hate being thrown. I don't want to. Why should I learn to throw break, or dare I say it, just stop mashing? Because just a little between you and me and the other King mates, I think the real reason people think King is OP is because counter hit throws are now a thing, and all this other time the way they've got out of throws is by just, if I just mash enough, then this guy can't get the throw out. And now they're realising that no, if you mash and I throw, you're going to lose. I think that's the real reason. But anyway, that's by the by. So you hate the matchup, so I don't want to play again. Okay, so I think those are the three main ones why people don't want to rematch. And I think I can probably, to be honest, the reasons why it's in favour, I think basically counteract all of them. And why is that? Okay, so the reason why I think if you can, and again, I'm not your dad, you do what you want, but the reason why I think if you have the opportunity you should rematch is because there's one reason. Okay, now we talk about Tekken Fundamentals, and I think most people have a rough idea what that means. what do we mean by Tekken Fundamentals? We mean spacing, which in Tekken is both forwards, backwards, and sideways. So we've got really good sense of spacing. We know when we can bait out a whiff and then punish it accordingly. We have punishment, so we know when someone's done something really stupid, like a hop kick randomly, and we go boom, boom, and we punish them for it. Okay. Whatever things, timing, it's sort of just knowing, right, when does my opponent like to press, when are they going to go in, and when I think they're going to go in, I land the big counter hit. Now, King's not really a counter hit character in this game so much, but you get the idea. And another one off the top of my head is, it's completely gone from my head now. Oh yeah, basically reads. So working out when does the person like to do the big low, and consequently I know I can duck and launch punish it. When's this person going to go for a throw? So again, I can duck and launch. When's the person going to throw out something unsafe, and then I'll just punish him for it. So it's kind of that read. Now, one fundamental that I don't think it's talked enough, because it's not technically a match playing sort of skill, is adaptation. Okay, adaptation is a core fundamental skill in Tekken, and it's the reason why you go to any tournament. It doesn't matter if you're Evo or if it's like, you know, you're local down in someone's garage. There's a reason why every match, and even from pools, you know, it's always a first to two. There's no such thing as you play one match and that's the end. Okay, and the reason why is because, as I mentioned, adaptation is a fundamental skill. Some people, and I put myself in this to be honest, so maybe that's why I'm slightly biased, some people might need that first match. They might get stomped, but what they're doing, you know, in the background is they're learning, they're looking, they're going, okay, what is this person doing? What does this person like to do? Is this person absolutely insane and it's just going to just keep throwing out really, really crazy stuff all the time? Or is this person actually quite sort of very fundamentals based and like to do small moves, and they don't expect me to just go, ooh, hey, and just come out of nowhere or something, okay? And then from that we have the adaptation, we do the learning, and then a really, really good player will learn from the mistakes, work out what it is that their opponent likes to do, and come back and win. And in case you, by the way, I'm not talking about myself, just in case you think I'm ego boosting. I'm talking about the likes of Knee, who, again, if you're new to the Tekken scene, Knee is one of the greatest of all time, in terms of legacy Tekken players. And so many times, well, not a fair few times, okay, not all the time, but sometimes he will lose his first match, but you know he is downloading the opponent the whole time, and then he'll come back and basically like 3-0 the second two, because that is, I'll keep repeating myself, but that is a core skill. It's learning, it's adaptation, it's downloading, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. And that, in my opinion, is why, if you can, you should rematch or let your opponent rematch, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to, you know, learn that particular skill. And the argument is, well, you've got first to 3 rounds, and it's like, that's not enough time. Like, a round could be over in like literally 15 seconds in some cases. If someone is just completely insane and just goes for the madness of crazy stuff, then yeah, that could be over. I mean, how long does RDC go on for? Well, if you're not an idiot and you can actually input it, you might find out. It's long enough to, I don't know how long this goes on for. You can go and make a sandwich while it's happening, and then how much of your life bar has gone by the end of it. And it could just be that one person didn't realise that, oh, this person's going to RDC, I'm going to make sure I mash 2 every time they grab me now to break it. So in my opinion, when you only have 60 seconds per round, just one match, that's not enough time. 2 matches, now we're talking. And this is again another reason why once you get into the big leagues, you get longer sets. Obviously, if you're coming from a loser's bracket in a tournament, you have the opportunity to reset the bracket. If you're coming for losers and you win, then you reset, and again you go again, because in my opinion, excuse me, in my opinion, the better player, quote unquote better, will be stronger the longer you play. Okay, it's like a rule of averages. If you play long enough, then you can get away with a certain amount of crazy 50-50s, which, you know, if you guess wrong on every single one, then you'll win. But the more that the time goes on, the more the other person realizes, right, what moves are you doing, when are you doing them, then by definition that will start to sort of, if they are learning, then that will start to iron out, and the better player will come out stronger. So that is why I believe it's so, you know, if you can, again, there's lots of reasons why I think perfectly valid for, you know, outside of what we discussed, why if you should try to do the first of two. If you want to learn, if you just want to have fun, and you don't want to deal with the headache and the sort of the toxicity or whatever you want to call it, then yeah, fair enough. You play how you want. If however you're trying to learn at this game, I just can't stress enough how learning to adapt is such a core fundamental skill. Obviously, I'm guessing in probably all fighting games, but especially in Tekken, where so much of this is matchup, is kind of knowledge checks, and things like that. So, and kind of going back, so just to kind of summarise and going back to my reasons against, I think that reason covers both the, well, I don't want to play again because I hate the matchup and because I just got bodied. It's like, well, yeah, sure, but if you rematch, you might have an opportunity to learn where you went wrong. Excuse me, I've still got a little bit of this virus going on. Yeah, so that might give you an opportunity to learn, right, where did I go wrong? What can I do better? And, you know, do I have another chance? And if you get stomped again, then never mind, you get stomped. If nothing else, if you go into your replays, you now have 2 matches to analyse the data to see where did you go wrong, rather than just the one. And that's especially helpful if it's a matchup that you really don't like and you need to work on. Again, you've got more data to go and analyse to see, okay, so what can I do specifically to counter this matchup? So that's more or less it. I don't think there's anything else I want to express. However, as I said, this is a very lively discussion going on the likes of sort of Tekken Reddit, and I know various kind of much more famous and popular YouTube Tekken content creators have discussed it. So I'd love to know what you think. So drop a comment down below, and yeah, let me know what you think. Should you just, if you can't learn the matchup, you know, within the first game, then GG's, you're bad, your problem. I don't owe you any rematch. Why should I? You know, if I win, I win, and a win's a win. Or is it a little bit more nuanced? You take a bit more time to think to yourself, you know, how can I, if I truly deserve that, I could win again. Do I want to give this person a chance to rematch me, etc., etc. So that's it now. That's the ramble done. And let me know what you think, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.